Please welcome Dhananjay Ramaswamy and David Barashi.
Good afternoon and welcome to our session. Hope you guys, first of all, had a fantastic lunch and you're all enjoying Accelerate. You are all suppliers, you're sellers who want to make amazing products. You want to delight your customers. You want to build your business. You want to build your brand. What you don't want to do is spend a whole lot of time on supply chain. However, what you've seen in recent years is that the global supply chain is getting more complex, it's evolving, and it takes your time to really keep up, and this takes up precious bandwidth away from your core business. We get supply chain. I go as far as to say we love supply chain. And we really want to be your partners in accelerating your growth.
In this session, we will introduce you to our new end-to-end integrated experience offered by Supply Chain by Amazon. We will teach you how this newly turnkey solution can simplify the way you move products from factory floor to your customer door, how you can unlock faster delivery for your customers, and how you can save on shipping, storage, distribution, and fulfillment. Now, we know you had a long lunch and you may be tired. If you can remember one thing by the end of this presentation, please remember that when you Supply Chain by Amazon, you keep doing what you're supposed to do, building and selling amazing products for your customers. And we do the rest for you. We will start with quick introductions. My name is David Barashi. I lead the Amazon warehousing and distribution team here at Amazon, or as we call it, AWD. My team is building services and products that are part of Supply Chain by Amazon and enable you sellers to store inventory in bulk in our AWD network and distribute it later to all our other sales channels.
And I'm Dhananjay Ramaswamy. I work in the global shipping product team in the Amazon Global Logistics part of Amazon. My team is responsible for building incredible end-to-end logistics products to allow you to ship your inventory cross-border from your origins to destination markets, including our destination services like customs and delivery. Now that we've introduced ourselves, it's delightful to see so many folks in the room. We also know there's plenty joining online, so thank you for that. We'd like to get to know a little bit about you. So, show of hands, please. How many are attending Accelerate for the first time?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's brilliant. Welcome. We hope you have a wonderful time. It's good to see so many new faces here. Us as well, by the way. Great. How many start your supply chain journey in China?
Wow.
Interesting. I'd have expected a lot more, but it's good to see several already there. Okay. How many of you guys started in the US? Wow, it's like we're getting equal there. That's amazing. Good stuff. And finally, from myself, how many of you heard about AGL or have used AGL before today? Okay, we have a lot of folks who are going to convert.
All right, I have a few questions as well. So how many of you are using a 3PL solution today to store your bulk inventory? Raise your hand. And then, how many of you heard about our bulk inventory solution called AWD? All right, we're going to change this by the end of this presentation. And last question, this is the most important one. How many of you have tried the donuts on that wall? Great, so just bad news is that we didn't integrate that donut wall into our supply chain by Amazon yet, but they gave us some good ideas there. And then we were told that by 3 o'clock there will be some macaroons on that wall, so make sure that after this session you go there and explore that wall again.
Thanks, David. I love the pitch for the macaroons. Good stuff there. So let's talk about what we're going to actually cover today. First, I think we'll spend some time discussing the challenges actually that you have told us, what you've said are problems and issues with your supply chain, what you've found frustrating and painful. We'll then describe our solution, and I think you'll find it quite exciting. We will highlight the capabilities of the solution that we're building, and also go into some detail about how it's actually going to solve your problem, because I think that's really what matters, is what's it going to mean for you. We'll then show you how you could get started. We'll do a quick recap at the end, and then we'll have time for Q&A. As I said, we really would love your questions. We welcome your questions. Please use the QR code scanner in the Accelerate app to scan the QR code up on the screen to submit your questions live. In the event we run out of time and are not able to answer all your questions, we'd be happy to continue the conversation in the Q&A kiosk after the presentation, after you've had your macarons.
Great. So we always like to start with you as sellers. We're going to talk about the challenges that you're facing with today's supply chain as you shared with us. So the only constant thing with supply chain is change. Change and more change. And to be honest, I don't think that is going to change. So this slide is actually telling the story of this change. The number of products that are flowing through your supply chain is increasing. The number of partners you need to collaborate with through your journey with supply chain is increasing. The diversity of technologies and standards you have to deal with along that journey is increasing. And the interdependencies between elements of your supply chain is increasing as well. When there is a change in one element of your supply chain, it usually forces a change in the other elements. Now, bottom line is that the complexity of supply chain is increasing. And the time that you have to spend on, that you are left to spend on building amazing products that your customers love is decreasing. So now, why do you care? Why should you care? Because that complexity is actually passed to you. When you move your products along your supply chain, you have to coordinate through dozens of partners. More partners means more invoices, more payments, and most likely more people that you need to hire to manage all of this process. It also can slow you down. How? When you have so many legs in that process, in your journey, and each leg is managed by a different partner, your ability to react to changes, especially changes in demand along your journey, is limited. It also can be less reliable. Again, with so many legs in the process and different partners that are managing those legs, your exposure to failure points is increasing. And we all know that things do wrong once in a while. We heard. But in this case, you don't have a single point of contact that can help you track down the problem and help you recover from it. It also can be very costly if you don't adapt quickly to the changes in policies or in standards of your partners. You may have to pay extra fees to use their services. So after all of this, again, are you left with enough time to really focus on your core business? Now, what does that mean to your customers? We know that customer preferences are changing and evolving over time. They are looking for faster delivery speeds, more customization, better customer service. If you're unable to keep your inventory in stock, you may impact their experience. You may lose sales opportunity. These days, they're actually expecting faster speeds. And if you can't keep your inventory closer to your customers, you may not be able to deliver promises that are meeting their expectations. So after you hear what we heard from you about your challenges, Dhananjay will talk about our solution for this problem.
Thanks, David. So as David said, we listened. We listened to the frustrations of sort of having to work supply chain with multiple partners. We listened to the frustrations of really not being able to use the inventory pool efficiently across different fulfillment channels. And we realized that we need to build something, we need to do something about this. So we looked at building a suite, we are building a suite of integrated transportation, logistics, warehousing, distribution, and fulfillment products that once integrated together can really offer great quality, speed, reliability, and value. In this section, we'll talk about how Supply Chain by Amazon can accelerate your business by providing these features for you. So what is Supply Chain by Amazon? What does it actually pull together? For my sellers who are bringing inventory in from China, Amazon Global Logistics provides a cross-border shipping service that actually integrates all ends from the origin all the way from your pickup through ocean freight to delivery at destination, including customs, all the way to the building that the product is destined for. For those of you who are using domestic inbounding, you have the option to use Amazon partner carriers for much better rates as well as terms of service, and this can be used for inbounding your product as well. So now once you're getting your product into the domestic or into the destination, well, the next step is getting the ability to do bulk storage and bulk distribution. The FBA network is designed for speed. It is designed to really fulfill demand. This is not intended for storing bulk quantities. So now we are offering bulk warehousing capabilities. David will talk a little more about this, and allowing you to store your inventory for both your safety stock for multiple distribution channels, as well as in the event you want to ensure you can get economies of scale, manage transportation better, you have an opportunity to bring inventory to your destination and store it really efficiently and economically. From there, we offer bulk distribution capabilities to actually distribute inventory into multiple fulfillment channels. Now, once you got the inventory in those channels, of course, in terms of fulfillment by Amazon, this is a service that all of you are very familiar with, you use quite a lot, obviously, and this is something that has transformed, e-commerce for merchants, as Dharmesh mentioned earlier today. We also offer, however, if you're not aware, we offer a similar experience for off-Amazon channels. We have a service called Buy with Prime that can enable a Prime experience for your customers for your off-Amazon sales channels as well, which we think is super exciting. So when we looked at the end-to-end journey, one of the things we wanted to make sure we do is keep things really simple for you. So we decided that we are going to keep the experience to be consistent across Supply Chain by Amazon. And for those of you who've used Seller Central, you will find that this feels very similar to your experience in Seller Central that you already are used to. You can create shipments just like you do in Seller Central. You can create shipments to AWD like you would into FBA. You can track all the way through the inventory lifecycle. And as we introduce new capabilities, new exciting options, as David will discuss soon, we are going to ensure that the experience stays consistent, including any improvements we make across the supply chain. So let's take a flavor of what it looks like. So when you create a shipment into AWD, as a bulk storage shipment, it feels very much almost exactly like creating a shipment into FBA. We offer the option to create full container loads and are very soon going to offer LCL as well. We're going to be offering, we offer pickup and drop-off locations, and we're going to be expanding them soon. And we're very soon going to be offering the ability for you, the sellers who have multiple brands, who manage multiple accounts, to be able to consolidate those shipments so you can get greater ease of doing business. Talk about tracking. As you can again see, the tracking experience is also remarkably similar. You can track your shipments in AWD or shipments to AWD like you would tracking your shipments direct to FBA. We offer tracking up to the case level, so you can go as granular as you like. But I don't think you'll need to track them that granular because when you ship with AGL, you're shipping with one of the most reliable services there is. For those of you who weren't at the AGL presentation earlier today, you'd be excited to know that our on-time delivery performance year to date is 84%, which is amongst the best there is. And so we're really excited about that. But we're not done resting on our laurels. We're going to be improving that further. And so we're working very hard on that as well.
So now let's talk about Amazon warehousing and distribution. We call it AWD. When I think about AWD, I think about 4 key attributes. It's for long term, it is for bulk inventory, it is offered at a lower cost, and it's located upstream of our FBA network. We started piloting it a year ago, and we learned a lot through that experience. We invested a lot since then, and the good news that we are now open for all sellers. All of you here and all of you online can start using AWD today. You will be able to bring your bulk inventory into our AWD network at a discounted storage rates that are up to 80% cheaper than our FBA storage fees. Yes, this is 80. This is a big deal. We continue to invest in AWD, and we are planning to add significantly more capacity in the next 12 months to make sure we meet all your needs. Now I wanted to show you how this AWD is integrated into the Supply Chain by Amazon workflow, as well in Seller Central. Here, for example, we're showing you how you can track AWD inventory from shipment creation until it arrives and receives into the AWD building. Now, when your inventory is in our AWD building, of course, you can have access to view it. You can sort, filter by SKUs, and if needed, you can take action on this inventory. In this case, for example, in the area that is boxed in red, we can show you how you can actually see the inventory level in the FBA network for the same SKUs that are actually in the AWD network. Now, I'm so excited to talk about auto-replenishment. While I think all the rest of the product and services that we talked about it already and integrated in the Supply Chain by Amazon are amazing, auto-replenishment is a super powerful tool. In my opinion, this will become your next superpower. Now, with auto-replenishment, you can move your inventory through your supply chain from AWD into our FBA network without doing anything. When I start the presentation telling you that if you Supply Chain by Amazon, we do all of this for you, this is a great example, auto-replenishment. Now, how do we do it? This is our own magic. And we are using ML, machine learning, demand forecasting, combined with sophisticated supply chain algorithms, and continue to monitor for demand signals and for opportunities to auto-replenish into our FBA network. So in this example, I'm showing you again that auto-replenishment is an integrated piece of supply chain by Amazon. You can see in the red box how you can actually track an auto-replenishment order that was created for you into the FBA network. Now, we are also not limiting our fulfillment option just for FBA. We know that many of you are selling on multiple marketplaces, and we wanted to make sure that we support you. So with MCF, which is multi-channel fulfillment, we enable you to fulfill an order from our FBA network that was actually placed on your other marketplaces. This is again integrated into our supply chain by Amazon workflow on Seller Central. You can create an MCF order. All right, until now, we talked about all our investments in our existing products and services offered by supply chain by Amazon. But I want to talk about two big announcements, two new launches that are coming soon as part of supply chain by Amazon. The first one is multi-channel distribution, or as we call it, MCD. This is to close a gap for our seller partners that are selling on multi-channels, different marketplaces. With MCD, you can actually bring all your inventory, bulk inventory, that is needed for all your channel and store it in our AWD building. Later on, you can ask Amazon to move it to any of your other distribution center, and of course, we will take care of the FBA replenishment using our auto-replenishment. You may ask yourself, what are the benefits of this MCD? One benefit is that you can consolidate all your inbound shipments, especially if you are bringing it from outside of the United States, from China, for example, into one inbound shipment. The other benefit is that you can delay decisions on allocations of inventory to different channels to a later stage in the process where usually your demand forecasting is more accurate. So at this point, we are actually piloting MCD with several sellers. Actually, interesting thing is that as we announced yesterday, there was a press release about that launch at around 7 a.m. At 7:16, we already got an email from one of our seller partners saying this is a great deal for them. They're so excited, and they want to be part of this pilot. So exciting news for all of you that wants to be part of this pilot. We encourage you to do so. And as you go to the sell.com page, there is a section there saying coming soon, and you can show your interest to participate in that pilot, and we will follow up with you. Here's an example how this MCD, again, integrated into our supply chain by Amazon workflow on Seller Central. Here, you can actually, in the box, creating an order to move some of your bulk inventory into a channel that is not Amazon. The next big announcement is about storage reservations. We heard from many of you that you want access to guaranteed capacity in advance. So with storage reservations, we allow you to reserve capacity in our AWD network for a period of 7 months up to 3 years at a much lower cost than our regular rates. Now, this is, again, in a pilot stage right now, And as you go to the sell.com page, you will see in the coming soon section a way to show interest that you want to participate in that pilot, and we'll definitely follow up with you because we want to make sure we are collecting your feedback and building products that will fit your needs. Now, this is, again, will be integrated into our supply chain by Amazon experience. This specific page is a mock-up, just showing you the work in progress we are doing towards integrating it into the same workflow.
All right. So as you've seen, Supply Chain by Amazon is an integrated suite. It brings together existing Amazon capabilities or elements like AGL or FBA, but also adds some new capabilities that we're talking about, like MCD, storage in bulk, etc. But this is sort of the so what question, So what? How does this actually help you? How does this solve the issues that you've talked to us about? I think it's precisely because it's integrated, because it's an end-to-end experience, because we are bringing together all the elements together into a unified suite, rather than thinking about them individually, that this actually unleashes the power. This is actually what creates the ability to accelerate your growth. We are able to take the right decisions at any point in the supply chain based upon the requirements that we have to make sure that the inventory is used optimally in different parts of the supply chain, different channels of fulfillment, etc., so that we can make sure it's the best use of the inventory for the customer requirement. I think this enables us to provide great value, great speed, and great simplicity. So talking about simplicity, the first thing is, as you saw in the examples we shared, some of them to be built, some of them already live, you can track the entire inventory life cycle end to end in one portal. That gives you the ability to move seamlessly between different parts of the supply chain and quickly understand what's happening, quickly get alerts to what's going on, versus having to have the cognitive load of trying to go across multiple portals, multiple providers, and then try and figure it all out together. As David mentioned, auto-replenishment is really a game changer. This is not, this is what we think of as truly hands off the wheel, because you can inbound the inventory and then allow the algorithms that we have to make these decisions and see how this can, put the inventory in exactly the right places as are needed. These algorithms, they learn, they're aware of demand signals, they respond to demand signals. And so as things change, which we all know they do, they're able to respond and appropriately change the replenishment quantities and the time of replenishment. They're also aware of inventory positions downstream, and so they actually can make sure that these replenishments are happening to the right places. So once you have the ability to use an inventory pool flexibly across multiple channels of fulfillment and multiple channels of distribution, this enables us to keep healthy inventory levels, not too high, not too low, in the right places. So you can have much better local in-stock, which unlocks faster speed. If you have healthy inventory close to your customers, without excessive commitment, you're optimizing capital, but you're also getting best speed for your customer. And as we've seen with data, and as you've seen through your own businesses, customers love speed. When you're able to offer better promises, you're able to actually, your business actually grows because customers buy more. There is a lot of value in the inventory optimization itself from a capital perspective, but we want to actually make this an insanely good value. And so right away, when you use AGL to ship into AWD, you can get discounts up to 25% on AGL's rates. 25%, it's kind of cool. In addition, one of the things we love about the AWD pricing solution is we are not going to have peak surcharges for you. We are going to waive peak surcharges, and that's going to save you about 80%. It's actually around 82% compared to storing inventory in FBA, which is a huge deal from the perspective of storage costs. Now, this allows you to, with very low financial risk, bring large quantities of inventory as you're going to need during peak into the upstream storage and allow us to then, feed into FBA, into the Amazon fulfillment network as is needed. Very soon, we're going to open the capability for you to reserve storage long term. So you have guaranteed access, and you know how much storage you're going to need and going to have. And that's going to come to you with additional savings as well. But I think the big thing here is it's also going to save time for you to really forget about the supply chain and focus on your core business.
All right, so I hope that by now, all of you are so excited to use supply chain by Amazon. And you may ask yourself, how do I get started? So we wanted to make sure that it's very simple for you. If you are already an AGL, AWD, and FBA seller, you do nothing. You start with booking your first shipment into an AWD building through Seller Central, and your supply chain journey with Supply Chain by Amazon has started. Now, if you haven't used AGL, you need to follow simple 3 steps. And to register to become an AGL seller, you go to Seller Central, you create your Amazon global logistics profile, you follow step by step and complete the process providing the necessary documents. And as soon as you create your first shipping into an AWD building, your journey with Supply Chain by Amazon has started. Now, if you're not an AWD seller yet, this can be fixed pretty easy. You just go to Seller Central, go under Inventory, Store and Distribute, and you look for the button Enroll. In this case, it's very simple. You just click Enroll, and you're enrolled. And as soon as there is a new shipment coming into your AWD building, you started the journey. All right, so we are at the end of the presentation, so I just want to take 1 minute to recap what we covered today. Remember, when you Supply Chain by Amazon, you keep building and selling amazing products that your customers love, and we take care of the rest. With Supply Chain by Amazon, you simplify how you move your products from factory floor all the way to the customer door. You unlock faster delivery for your customers, and you save on shipping, storage, distribution, and fulfillment. So I hope to see you all Supply Chain by Amazon very soon.
Thank you.